Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
My apologies.
Damn!
I did it to myself again.
Damn!
I thought I was talking and my mic was muted. My apologies. I appreciate you for your patience. I have a few bloopers over the last couple of months. There's videos 2 months ago. I started to stream off and I thought I was, yeah, my bad. But again, let me reiterate what I was saying. Happy Sunday. I want to extend my gratitude and my thanks to everyone in attendance today. I was on earlier and I wanted to give my flowers out to this 13-year-old who lost her life to the hands of someone who is responsible for creating that life. And it was absolutely atrocious. That story, it humbled me further. It made me remember exactly why it is important to have a serious relationship with God, with yourself. Cherish your loved ones. Don't take them for granted. Don't take these interactions for granted. Don't just wake up in the morning and play around with the time that you got, because it can be snatched away from you just like that. It only takes a second. Before we go into the subject, which you see in the title, maybe you don't see it, but it's basically saying Marvin Sapp under fire after locking the doors to the church. Yeah. I got a video I'm going to play. It's like a quick summary. If you're not familiar with it, like, this will pretty much explain it, but also there's a caveat to it. The young lady, she went into an entirely different bag here. Hold on a second. Let me get this right, because my soundboard, right? I got to make sure my soundboard is straight up here. For whatever reason, when I get my soundboard moving, it tends to freeze up on me, and then I gotta do a whole bunch of extra shit, and like that's a pain in the ass. So let me do this real quick. I'm gonna play this for y'all. I'm gonna play it, then we're gonna talk about this, because it's a serious subject, and I know a lot of people feel some type of way about it. I want to play both sides, give different perspectives on it. Maybe we can come to some type of understanding, some type of agreement. Maybe we just won't agree at all on this. However, I think it's extremely important, simply because everybody who was in church is not there for the right reasons, and some folks are just there for attention. A lot of people aren't really there for healing at all, and it's obvious. I don't ever want people to get this idea that when you walk into a church, that everyone is going to be on straight and narrow. Like, you're just expecting to do anything. They're just innocent. They're pure. They're white as, like, I don't know why people do this. When I first went back to church after I was away from it for forever, I didn't have a dress code. I didn't wear suits and ties. My outfits were dated. I wore stuff that I would wear out in the street. My everything was smoke and alcohol. I was a real big drunk, and I smoked heavy. I was broken. I was not healed. I was not in a place to go inside of these doors trying to be something I wasn't. I was just so destroyed within my own spirit. I didn't have any other outlets. I didn't have any other place to go. I didn't know where to turn to. I need help. I need answers. I need something inside of me to be healed. I didn't really care how I got to the destination, as long as I got to the destination. Once you hit rock bottom, you're not really concerned about the opinions of another human being. You don't care if they like you or they They look at every single move you make. They want to see you stumble and fall and slip and embarrass yourself so they can laugh at you and have things to go back to their audience and clown you over. You're not worried about impressing people. You're not worried about looking a specific way to an audience that's not really for you. You're going because you're sick. You're sick, and death is around the corner waiting to devour you. If you know what I'm talking about, you know it is not for the weak. It is not a game. When I went back to church, and I'm getting somewhere, I'm gonna play the video, but when I had enough and I went in there, I'm gonna tell you, I was looking around wondering if people were judging me because of my haircut, judging me because of how small I was. I was going in there wondering if people were going to judge me because of my teeth, because of the condition of my health, if people were going to judge me because I didn't have a job, because I wasn't driving, because I was still living at home, because of X, Y, and Z. I looked around at men, at women. I looked at the kids. I looked at the pastor, the husband. I looked at everyone because I wanted to see how they were going to respond to me coming into this church. I'm the new face. No one knows me. They're familiar with each other. They've been here amongst themselves for years. I'm the one that's coming into this. So how am I going to be welcomed into this space? And honestly, what I found out was a lot of these people are in the same position I am. Some of these folks are addicted to sex. Some of these people are addicted to alcohol. Some of these people are addicted to drugs. A lot of these people are liars, committing adultery. Like a lot of them people that were in there were just like I was. They might have been there longer, but they were still moving like I was. They were still acting like I was. They were still 1 foot in church, 1 foot out of church. And when I saw that, I'm like, all right, well, damn. Well, at least I know I'm not the only one in here trying to figure this out. I'm not the only hard-headed, rebellious child of God in here. I'm not the only one trying to get better, but I'm still doing what the hell I want to do in the world. They made me feel normal. They made me feel welcome. And because of that, it made me want to go back because it was like the way that the pastor would talk. Every time she spoke, she never asked for anything. When it was time to give tithes, when it was time to do this, that, and the third, they passed it around. You give or you don't give. It wasn't like you're forced to do anything. No one is putting you in an uncomfortable space, prepared to ostracize you and ban you to the shadow realm because you didn't put $1 or put $5 into the collection plate. It wasn't like that. They hug and welcome you when you come through those doors. They hug, talk to you as you leave out. And with that being said, because I'm going to go into this a little further, we got time. I'm going to play this video and then we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible, you know? So I got this clip from off of TikTok, and it's just one of many. You know how this goes. Everyone has chopped up their own versions of it. Well, I decided to take it upon myself to clip one of them myself just for you. So I appreciate you taking time out to discuss this with me, hear what I got to say, and hopefully we can continue to build on this. With that being said, let's get into it.
Why you like?
No, he said ushers shut the door. The ushers wasn't listening. They was scared of the people. Ushers shut the door. Ushers shut the door. The problem is y'all think y'all could shame these pastors out of the gospel. Y'all think, but you know what the Bible says? The Bible says when there ain't no more people doing the work of God, the world is going to be a dark place. Don't complain then. Because y'all would rather see Rick Ross with a jet than Creflo Dollar. Y'all are hypocrites. Y'all are the church that persecuted Christ. If you, like, this is what I'm saying. Y'all are the people who put Christ up on that cross after he did miracle after miracle. Because he sang y'all out of depression too many times. But y'all, $20 is too much to ask. He didn't ask everybody for $40. He didn't ask for $1,000. He asked 1,000 people for $20. Y'all out of pocket. Because y'all would spend that $20 on anything.
Can we be transparent? Can we be honest up here? Is it still a safe space to do that? It's Sunday. We're about to go into a new week. We're all adults. Can we just keep it all the way being up here? I want to address a few things. Going back to how I started the show off, right? It is extremely difficult to find a church home. Every building that has a cross on it does not make it a house of the living God. Every building that has a cross on it does not mean that the inhabitants within that structure is suited for you. It does not mean that that's your church home. There's a difference between having a church and a church home. When you go into a church, you're just there. You don't really expect much out of it. You don't really expect to be there very long. You're going to be nosy. You're going to find out and scout, basically. It's no different than a scout going to a football, basketball event and looking at the point guard or the quarterback for that college or whatever to see if they might be perfect for the major leagues. Most of the times when we go into these churches, we're going into them for the wrong reasons. You're going in there because you want to be seen by the congregation. You want to know if there's someone in there that you can date, that you can romance. You want to test the waters and see if you can make someone stray from their path. You want to go in there to escape accountability for the lifestyle that you've lived. You want to get a couple of Hail Marys, get some holy water thrown on your face, go back out into the world and do what you want to do. You're not really going into the church for the word. I had a conversation not too long ago up here, and I made a survey and I was asking, should church be fun? Is it supposed to be about dancing and great music and laughing? And is it supposed to be like this modern YouTube version of getting educated by the doctrine where the pastor is dressing like Medea or somebody with colorful garments on and they flashy and they loud and they tell jokes? 30, 40, 50% of the ceremony or whatever. Is that what it's supposed to be? And I think a lot of people go to church, they want to be coddled. You want the person who is preaching to tell bits and pieces of the Bible without calling you out on the things that will eventually catch up to you in consequence to the decisions that you make throughout your everyday living. So if he's ministering about the wrath of God and he's speaking on Ecclesiastics or Proverbs, and you are a harlot, or you are rebellious, or you are gossiping and you are doing certain things that is specific to that word that he's preaching, you don't like that. You don't want to hear that. And the reason why most people don't want to hear that is because it forces you to look at yourself, and you can't blame nobody else. Now, Marvin Sapp is under all of this scrutiny, and I can understand why, and I can also understand the position that this woman took, and I can understand the position that a lot of people have taken on this. It's a very delicate situation. Here you are, a broken soul, someone who is hurt, and someone who is trying to find their way. You feel scorned, and you feel like you're being wronged, and you're being duped because you had an experience in one of these places that turned you off. And I can understand why that would bother and rub some people the wrong way. But I must say this. That's a cop-out. And I'm going to tell you how I know it's a cop-out, right? So let's say you attended a church when you were younger, and you found out after being there faithfully for a year, 2 years, you find out that the pastor was sleeping with somebody in the congregation. So because you found out that happened, you associate that infidelity with, oh, the man of God. If the pastor can do this, then why should I have to listen to anybody else? Why would I respect anybody else up here? Why would I respect anyone in here? The pastor is the one who is supposed to be the cleanest of everyone here. And if they're not, then that gives me the right to continue to live the way I want to. And I don't trust you. I don't trust you or what you represent anymore. You put all of your eggs in one basket. You blame one individual for misleading a flock, as if that one person is the head over every single church that is out here. How does that work? Someone make that make sense to me. That's an excuse. You want to tag one person or tag everyone for what one person did so that you don't have to be held responsible. Just what the pastor did was wrong. That doesn't mean you continue to do wrong because the pastor did wrong. It's not a green light to keep living the way you want to live because the pastor didn't do what they were supposed to do. If I mess up, that's not your mess up. Lucas, you are right. The problem here is we associate one person's sin to everybody else's, and then you want to say, well, shit, if this person did it, then and look, I know, you know how I know, because I do it and I have done it. I'm like, shit, this person smoke, this person steal and all that, and you know, God still bless them and still cover them. So if they can get away with doing this, and why can't I continue to do it? It don't work like that. It don't. Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. Look, wrong is wrong, right is right. Karma comes, and the things that you sow in this world will eventually come back to you. You are too worried and focused on the person next to you and their lifestyle and what they have done, using that as a crutch to continue to do what you're doing, not really understanding that your path and their path are completely different. They're going to suffer an experience just like you're going to. Your timelines are different. Your experiences will be different. Your sins might be similar, but the outcomes and the consequences from those will be different at their own juncture. But we are so worried about doing what we want to do as long as we can. You're not going into church for the people. You're going into church because you want a relationship with the Creator. Why are you worried about what the people are donating? Why are you worried about how a person is dressed? Why are you worried about how much you put into the tithing and this, that, and the third? You're going in there for the wrong reasons. 1000% going in there for the wrong reasons. You're trying to impress people. You're trying to run away from stuff. Marvin Sapp, I love his music. And to be fair, I don't really know what side of the fence he's on, because I know that there are mega churches right now that use and abuse the people. They lie to us all the time. They have made a life off of us. Their lineage will be taken care of forever, even though they got the jets, even though they got the house, the cars, all that, even though it seems like they're getting away with it, they're not. There are churches and pastors and ministers who have used and abused their positions to prey on the weak and the sick. We all know it. So this is where the argument comes in, where people are pissed off. I get it. I'd be mad as hell too if you told me I can't leave this building unless I give you $20 or I throw an extra $20 in the collection plate. First of all, how the hell are you going to tell me that I have to do anything? If I pay tithes, I'm paying tithes out the kindness of my heart. I'm doing it not for you, but I'm doing it in the faith and in the belief that I'm doing this towards God, not you. I'm doing that out of my heart. For you to sit up here and lock a door and tell me, no, I can't leave without putting in what? I think that part is what really pisses people off. And the woman, She made a great argument. She really did. I'm not even mad at what she said. I'm not. Because we'll sit up here and spend all our money on Sexy Red, on Glorilla, on MGK, Eminem. We'll buy their albums. We'll buy their clothes. Elon Musk made billions of dollars off of us. Elon Musk is rich because of us. Donald Trump is rich because of us. Those white people, they're rich because of us. Your favorite superstars, your favorite actors, they're rich because of us. The clothes we got on, they're rich because of us, because we are self-absorbed, we are superficial, we are worldly, we are so worldly. You will put more of your trust in this than you will put it in the word. And the word is a book, but it's life in it. You would rather spend your hard-earned money on the latest Victoria's Secret bed, body, bed and beyond, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You will buy anal beads, you will buy plastic dildos and little sex toys to go strap on and do things with your wannabe girlfriend. That's really a like, come on, man. You'll spend all your money on shit that causes death, destruction, pain, causes people to fight, causes people to be envious, to be contentious. You'll spend all your bread on all of this worldly shit, but when it's time to put it into the church, you got all of this smoke, all of these problems. I don't trust the church. The church be lying to me. The church, they just as bad as I am. They be stealing just like they be. Yeah. You got all the smoke for preachers and ministers. Do you know how long it takes for someone to stand up there for an hour, 2 hours and give you the word? Do you know how long it takes to prepare to get into that spirit, to get into that place, to minister to a bunch of people who don't want to listen, who are mentally confused, spiritually lost? Do you know how draining that is to do that shit every Sunday? Do you know how difficult it is to be battling demons, to be responsible for a multitude of people? Do you know how difficult it is to give your heart, your soul to a group of people who do not respect your craft, do not respect your life, but they still come anyway because they're trying to prove that you are faking? Do you understand how much energy you are depleting yourself of to do this? But y'all got all this energy, all this attitude towards ministers and things like that. Well, P. Diddy fucked children. P. Diddy sleeps with and rapes and drugs adults and men and bribes and destroys careers, and is probably the reason why Tupac and Biggie is no longer here. Take that. Take that. Sean Combs, Mr. Baby Oil, destroyed hundreds of lives, traumatized hundreds of people. A lot of these folks will never be the same again. But y'all spent y'all money on him. Y'all spent y'all money on the concerts, on the TV shows he did. Y'all watch Making of the Band. For all we know, we still ain't get to J-Lo. We still ain't get to a lot of these other people that you watch on Netflix and go to the cinema for in person. Y'all spend y'all money on them. They the biggest fucking hypocrites in the world. These motherfuckers lie to you every day. They lie to you every day. They don't respect you. They don't like you. They don't repost your stuff. They don't have conversations with you in the chat room. They don't even really control their platforms. They have other people managing their YouTubes and their IGs and their Twitters and shit. You're talking to robots. You're talking to people who are hired to fake have conversations with you, but you invest all your time and all of your money and all of your adoration to them. But you got all the smoke in the world for the church. So I can understand. I can understand why, on one hand, people are affected by the lies and the deceptions of the church. Because, like, you got to understand this. This is for my brothers and sisters in Christ who are pleading out to the people to come as you are. There's no judgment. I know you've been scarred. I know you've been hurt. I understand it. I can only tell you but so much. When we leave off of this stream and y'all go back to your regular lives and do what you do, that's up to you. But let's be fair and let's be unbiased here. There are real church homes out here. There are real honorable pastors, preachers, bishops. There are real honorable men and women of God out here. And the others made it difficult to find them. But like I said earlier in the stream, every church is not your church home. You have to find your church home. I don't necessarily agree with the way that he went about this. You don't lock people in. You don't hold people against their will to force anyone to do something that they aren't willing to do out of the kindness of their heart. Lucas, if I asked you to do something, if I have to ask you to do something, knowing that you know me, and like, let's keep it all the way 100, and this go for anybody. If I've known you for X amount of time and you know me and you know the things that I am in need of, or you know that I am working towards a goal, and you knowing this, you don't want to do it, so you don't do it, I would rather it be that way. There's no way in the universe I'm gonna force you to do something that you didn't want to do anyway. See, you have to want to be here. You have to want to be invested in these conversations. You have to want to see me grow. You have to want to be a part of this. If you don't want to be a part of it, then me asking or putting any type of pressure on you to do it is just a waste of time. Because you never had any real intentions on doing any of what you did. A lot of you are out here doing things because you want something out of it. You're not doing it because you really want to do it, and it shows. It shows in relationships. It shows in business. It shows in friendships. That's why you can't get your YouTube channel up. That's why you can't get your followers up on IG and Twitter and all this, because the way that you're approaching it is phony as hell. I see it all the time. I had somebody comment on one of my posts. I'm like, damn, they got to you too. You doing the same thing that the rest of them do. You giving me a fake comment to make it seem like you watched the video. Just don't watch the video. Don't watch none of the shit. I would rather you not watch than you to give me a phony ass comment. I'm not stupid. I know how this shit works. Marvin Sapp, you dead wrong. You dead wrong to try to force someone to do something that they don't want. So you got 1,000 people in here. You want 1,000 people to put in $20. They don't want to do it, so you lock the doors. Does that sound like somebody you're going to want to go back to? Does that sound like someone you're going to want to listen to anymore? Does that sound like someone that you're going to trust moving forward? After hearing that, it's like, well, shit. All right, your true colors have come out. Now I see what it is. Okay. So look, don't get it twisted. I know exactly how the people feel about it, but we're not going to sit up here and act like y'all don't be supporting Satan and shit, because you do. Because Sean Combs is definitely operating from a demonic place. A lot of them folks are operating from a demonic place, and y'all basically looking at me like, man, if you don't shut the hell up, we're gonna listen to this shit anyway. We're gonna play this shit anyway. You might as well start wasting your breath, sir. I know you don't really care about what I'm talking about, but the reality is you are serving Satan. You are idolizing Satan, or you're idolizing people that Satan is using. And Satan is using them people to get to you. The church, the whole purpose of the church is to save souls, to show you love, to show you that Jesus Christ is real, to show you that God is real, to show you that there are other ways to smile and be happy and to be healthy and to be loving and to be forgiving and to deal with controversy and stress. And the church is a place for spiritual sickness. If you are sick, that is where that space is for. And it is unfortunate that we have all of these locations that move with criminal intent. Like no one asked for that. I didn't volunteer and wake up and say, I want to go to a church that lies to me. Go ahead and give me false doctrine. Don't hold me accountable. Please just lie to me. No one signs up for that. No one is going. If you are really going into a church, this is how I look at it. If you're really going into one, you're going into it because you are broke. You are broken. You don't know where to turn. You don't even know if your prayers are being heard. You don't even know if you're going to be forgiven for every fucked up thing that you've done in life. You don't know if you're going to heaven or hell, but you believe in it. You're in a very dark, lonely place that only you know the torment of. The things that's tormented me throughout my life, only I would understand and comprehend. Most people wouldn't be able to grasp the severity of the anguish and the iniquity that builds up within the spirit. We go there because that shit is terrible. It is worse than someone hating you for no reason. it's worse than someone plotting on your life. It's worse than being physically sick, having the COVID, being on your deathbed. Spiritual sickness is nothing to joke about. It ain't nothing to play around with. You know what I'm talking about. This ain't fuck all the politics and the YouTube guidelines and the Twitter guidelines and all of this little, we're supposed to be on script and we're supposed to talk like this and talk like that. I don't have cue cards. I don't have a teleprompter that I look at and read for 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. I've never had that. I've never had to do that. That's crazy to me. I will die one day. I'm lucky enough to be here as long as I am. And I know that. And I thank God for that. So what I look like getting up here being biased or like either I know or I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's just all it is. That's all my channel is. I either know or I don't know. But I'm going to be as honest as possible about what I see. That's all my YouTube is. Marvin Sapp, I don't know if you're another Creflo Dollar. I don't know if you're another Peter Popoff. I don't know if you fall into that category. I have not listened to you in a very long time. I haven't listened to your sermons in a very long time. I don't know who you are. The fact that this is a thing right here, that you would lock somebody in your building. Matter of fact, you didn't do it. You ordered your ushers to do it. Lock them in. They're not leaving until I get my money. You sound like a pimp. You sound like a pimp. And you're tricking off your congregation.
Cut it out.
A lot of y'all do it, man. And that's what pisses people off. That's what's making people like angry. That's why people don't want to go to church. That's why they would rather pray from home and have their conversations privately than to confide in you or confide in, because y'all up here on camera fucking it up for the real ones that are doing this with the right intentions. You're making it harder for them. That shit break my heart, man. It does. A lot of y'all have led people to hell and don't even know it. Marvin Sapp, I'm speaking on you specifically. A lot of you have led people to hell and you don't even realize it. Hell, maybe I've led people to hell and I don't realize it. Like if I'm being completely honest, I've tried to stay out of trouble the last 30 years or so, but the shit that we do and say out of our mouth, man, is reckless. The way we be leading our lives, we sit up here and act like we're just living free and YOLO and all that. That YOLO still doesn't discount the fact that you're not living according to biblical doctrine. However, your mission and your walk with God is going to be different than mine. For all I know, God love or has more love for you than he does me. You're probably looking better in his sight than I am. Can you say the same? Can you be honest and say that? Are we telling the truth today? Are we being completely transparent? As much as I sin, There's no way in the world I'm gonna sit up here and judge another human being, because I could be closer to hell than you are because of my rebellious attitude, and so on and so on. There's a list. I appreciate what you said, Lucas. A lot of us try to expose or shine the light on certain things that's going on. And I mean, Mace is a mainstream person. And if they're not listening to him, why would they listen to little old me? Why would they listen to you? He has millions of fans and supporters. If they're not going to pay him no mind, me talking about this probably isn't going to matter either. Or will it? Or will it? I've learned a lot over these 40 years. So much so, I'll never come out of my mouth and try to force you to do anything for me that you don't want to do. It'd be frustrating sometimes though, because you feel like, you're doing good, you're fairly decent at what you got going on. Why ain't But at the same time, I'm still confident in what I do. I post like I have a million people watching me. I post like I have the entire world watching me, and I continuously talk as if I am speaking to everybody that I'm supposed to be speaking to, whether or not it's one person or it's two people in here. I never change my energy. I never stop being consistent. I never stop being aggressive. But I also don't dry beg. I don't dry beg. I don't panhandle. And I would never force anyone to do something that they don't want to do. So I understand why people are angry and pissed off. But let's look at it like this. Let's say Marvin Sapp is a scammer, hypothetically speaking. Well, if he's a scammer, then what does that make George Bush? If Marvin Sapp is a scammer, what does that make Remy Ma? If he's a scammer, what does that make your IG models, your OF influencers, Country Wayne, Fresh and Fit? If Marvin Sapp is a scammer, what does that say about the women who get knocked up by them, who have children with them and marry them and only date scammers? What does it say about them? Sean Kingston is about to go to jail for scamming. Check out the video. Have I dropped it yet? I don't even think I dropped it yet. Sean Kingston is about to take him and his mom about to go to jail for scamming. Facts. It's not rumor. It is fact. You can look it up for yourself. So if he's a scammer, then hold Sexy Red, Cardi B, hold Beyonce, hold all of them accountable too. Don't have this energy for just him and not have it for those people too. I have an issue with somebody using God to play on people. I have a special anger towards that. But let's not act like y'all ain't been manipulated since we were born. They put sex and sexual innuendo in SpongeBob cartoons. They put sexual endo and Dora the Explorer. You got content creators remixing Avatar. Now Avatar is from the hood and shit. You want to call out one thing? Let's go ahead and call all of it out. Let's just have a Royal Rumble of hypocrisy.
What, so I gotta sit here and eat dessert alone like I'm fucking Steven Glansberg?
Let's just go ahead and have a battle royal and throw everything in the pot. Your anger and your frustration, some of you, not all of you, is cap. It's not organic. It's not real. Nice try though. Nice try. You're not really mad. You're not really upset with this man. And the only way you're upset is if you were really under the assumption that that man was moving the way that God ordained him to move, because your heart wasn't thinking and in the same realm as his was. You're coming from a pure place. When you're coming from a pure place and you get fucked over, that hits different. When you're doing things with a plastered fake smile and your heart has something else in it, you are the ones I'm referring to. You're not mad. You're not upset about none of this shit. No, you're not. Because you've been getting used and abused for damn near all your life. We're going to wake up tomorrow and get used and abused. Your co-workers, your peers, all of these folks that you follow with the little blue tag by their name and all them people that y'all support every single day, you're getting used and abused and manipulated by them all the time. You're not mad. Shut the hell up with that shit. You're not. This is what you deal with on a regular basis right here.
Bazinga. 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 Bazinga.
That's what you deal with. You think they like you?
Bazinga.
You think they're going to autograph your work?
Bazinga.
You think Chris Brown is going to have sex with you and marry you after you ruined and destroyed your relationship with your boyfriend to take a picture with him?
Bazinga.
You think Beyonce didn't sacrifice her soul? You think Jay-Z didn't sacrifice his soul? You think these people are just so pure that they're not doing things to spiritually influence you?
Bazinga.
Right. You've been getting used all your life, damn near. If you're going to have energy towards Marvin Sapp, then you need to have the same energy towards your friends, family, and loved ones. You need to have the same energy towards them people that you give all of your time and your effort and money to. I see the comments, I see the post, the repost, 35,000 likes, 35,000 reposts on a fucking my dog said hello. What? Oh, today I think I'm going to take a shower. 55,000 reposts. Why the fuck are you reposting that simple, basic ass post? Today, I washed my face. 30,000 posts. 30,000 likes. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to eat today. What do y'all think I should eat today? 2,567 comments. suggesting food ideas to somebody who don't respond to you, they don't speak, they don't like, these people don't even like your repost, they don't even like your comments. Y'all just be sitting up there talking to a fucking ghost. Whole time they out here living their life, riding around in their Bugatti. Their notifications don't go directly to them. Their notifications go to whoever they paid to look over them. You've been lied to all your life. You've been scammed all your life. So are you really mad? Let's ask that question. Are you really mad at Marvin Sapp for locking them people in? If you are, then all right, so that means that you're mad at everyone else. Hold on, let me get to this comment real quick. Shout out to you, bro. I haven't seen a video on personal growth reach 1 billion views. Everything on there is either sex or lavish life. That says a lot about how broken the world is. Yes, that is 100% true. It is all about this. That's all it is about. Y'all be up here. Y'all be full of y'all. Y'all be full of it, man. Y'all be angry, but you're selective. So it's okay that a father slits his 13-year-old daughter's throat, SAs her, leaves her for dead in an abandoned house. You don't really have a lot to say about that, but you got something to say about Marvin Sapp wanting an extra $20 before they leave. You don't have a problem with all of these drug dealers walking around here extorting people, poisoning people, but you got a problem with Marvin Sapp trying to poison people with false word or trying to force people into doing something that they don't want to do. The music that we listen to literally is filled with demonic message, but you don't have a problem with them putting that out. You have a problem with musicians not signing autographs. It's backwards. It's all backwards. Nobody wants to know or cares about growth or being healed or no one cares until they're on their sick bed. When the handcuffs are right there, no one cares until that prison cell door is about to close or that casket is about to get lowered into the ground. Or you don't care until you're about to get caught by your significant other. When you're close to being caught, that's when you care. People go out of their way and take time out to really sit up here and try to care about people and still try to be human and still try to embrace humanity in a way that's healthy, that helps the community, that helps build it, that helps rid it of the disease that is destroying us. But that gets rejected. Or you pick and choose where and when you want to be a part of it. Of course. Of course. But, you know, little old me, I'm just running off at the mouth. What do I know? Marvin Sapp, I don't agree. And I want to put this out there too to anybody that is willing to listen. If you ever feel like you have to force yourself on another person in order for them to want to be a part of whatever it is that you have going on, they're not for you. They're not for you. And the best thing for you to do is to continue on doing what you're doing until the right people come across your content, your personality, your wit, your humor, your aesthetics, your soul and spirit, and they see it for what it is and they value it for what it is and treat it in the manner that they see it. Anything that is forced, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to last very long, and it's always been temporary. Always. I don't know not one person, man or woman, who ever went out of their way for someone more than they did them, and it ended in a happily ever after. It don't work. I would rather be alone. I would rather not have a single person around me. Don't talk to me, don't call me, don't text me, don't reach out to me, don't do shit. Just be who you are. Just be the person who really don't fuck with me and stay over there. Don't come over here. It's better for me. And you can go try to use somebody else. Not here. I'm not about to force nobody to do nothing. These platforms, all of them, from the red pill community all the way to the women's side, all that. They be asking for donations, they be asking for super chats, they be asking you to join the Patreon. They be saying, look, we only reading comments if you send $20 and up. I ain't never asked a single person for anything up here. I'll never do that. That's corny. It makes me wonder about your real intentions. It makes me wonder if you really like, if you really are in tune or in touch with the audience that is supporting you. You know, it has to be heartbreaking to follow after somebody for all of these years only to find out that they only look at you as a check, a cash app, a donation, or a tax write-off. Have you ever been used before? Have you ever loved somebody so much and poured into somebody so much only to learn the hard way that it was never what you thought it was going to be? That they weren't ever there the way that you needed them to be there? Because I put it this way. Hold on, let me find it real quick. So let's go into story time for a second. So there was this young lady that I absolutely adored. will always have love for her. And it was unrequited. And I had to eat that pill, and I had to take the L, and I had to accept it for what it was, for a number of reasons. We grew apart, but we stayed in contact. And during the break, she had actually met somebody, and alleged friend. He was a friend. He was like the substitute of me. Of course, I really don't buy that too much. I don't really think that he was just a friend. But let's just go with she found her a friend that was supposed to be the doppelganger of me. He wanted a relationship with her, but he wasn't her type. And she tried to tell him that, but they would always get into arguments over it. Well, after me and her hadn't spoke for months, and we finally got back to speaking, she would tell me about it. And I know, why the fuck am I listening to it? But she would tell me about it. And this is why I don't really trust women. Only but maybe one or maybe like two. I'll give you 2 to 3, maybe 4, and that's like my church family. Anything in like my sister or something. Anything outside of that, you're gonna have to work for that. I don't trust a single fucking soul. You know why I say that? Because keep in mind, she used him to replace me. See, the things that I did for her, she didn't want it romantically, but she enjoyed the benefits of it. Once we fell out, she went to go find someone else to give her all of those traits that she wasn't getting from the type of guy that she wanted. So when we started talking, and she's telling me, "Oh man, I'm tired of having all of these fights, and I'm about to cut him off, and this, that, and the third." She completely shit on him. At first, he was like her best friend. They talked all. At first, they were buddy. They were this. They were all. And then once he wanted more from her, and all of this, on top of the fact that I know she's leaving out information, she's not telling me all of it. She started dogging his ass. She started talking about how corny he is, how he's weak this, weak that, soft this, soft that. I'm like, damn, I thought this was your your doppelganger best friend. I thought y'all were tight. Right. The true colors come out. True colors always come out. You only good to a motherfucker until you not good to him anymore. Once the boundaries come, once you start demanding and wanting things back, once you start saying, look, man, this shit is one-sided. What's up? Then they turn on you. Everything flipped. She used to talk about how good of a person he was and how spoiled. Y'all the gossiping and all that shit, man. Like, I'm cool. I'm cool on all that. And I brought that up to say this. Don't even trip. Don't even sweat trying to impress nobody or trying to fit in anywhere. To hell with all that. It's not worth it. You lose yourself. The odds are they don't really like you, and they talk behind your back. She used to say, I never said anything negative about you. It was always good. But shit, you just sat up here and told me all this dirt on dude. So I know you said things to him about me that wasn't in the greatest light. And that's how a lot of folks are. I swear up and down, these people are your guys and your besties and all that. Until you learn the hard way that is always more to it than what you saw. And if what I saw here is true, are you surprised? Are you surprised at what Marvin Sapp did? Are you surprised? Like, if we're basing this on him revealing himself to really be greedy, and this is about money over him pouring out the word and trying to really help people, if that's what we're basing this off of, then he's a fraud. He's a scammer. Listening to the story, it sounds like he's a scammer, but we need more context. A story will start out one way, and then when it reaches the 35th person, it's a completely different one. By the time the 35th person gets the story, that thing has been altered 34 times. Someone always gets a newer version to it. But hey, if it's true, now what? What do you do now? Because like I said before, if you got energy and anger towards them, then you must have it towards everybody else, from Hollywood to gospel to anime to your household. Just have the same attitude towards all of them, because you are getting robbed every day by all of these people. I don't follow a single celebrity. I follow battle rappers, a few of them that actually follow me back, and just regular church going people, poets, and so on. I'm not sitting up here Google eyeing Megan Thee Stallion. No, for what? What I need you on my page for? You're not following me back. You're not going to talk to me. We're never going to have a conversation. What the hell I need to stay in contact with you for? That's dumb. To me, it's pointless. I'm not getting anything from it, but you're getting everything out of it. That's always been the thing to me that never made sense. How could you follow a celebrity or someone famous that don't know you? You're never going to hang out. There's no mitzvahs. There's no barbecues. There's no weddings, and you're not. So what's the point? They're not helping you make no money, but you're helping them. You're helping them fund their life. Nope, I'm cool. I'm simpatico. I can't see me doing it. I try to be as objective as possible here. I can understand the anger that a person would have towards a church that turned them away, but I also see that as a cop-out. I've experienced that before, and it didn't make me lose hope or lose faith in God. Stop worrying about them and be more concerned about you. This is your life. You were born alone, you're going to die alone. Your next door neighbor can't save you. Your producer can't represent you. That woman that you're lusting after, she's not going to be there to plead your case. Ludacris is not going to be able to stand in the gap and protect you. These blue marks and these blue checks, they're not going to buy you into heaven. Your attitude, your conceited nature, your bitterness and your jealousy is not going to get you the results that you want. You know why I do this? One, because I talk different. Because my approach is different. I'm unfiltered. I don't need a degree. And I don't have connections with a bunch of Hollywood people telling me what to say and what not to say, so I can speak how I want freely. Let me read this real quick. I agree. What I like is that it doesn't matter who does what and what is done to us. We will be judged by how we react, by what we did, and it doesn't matter who is influencing. That is a bar. Dropping wisdom in the chat. We need that. I hope y'all read that. I want to say this. I personally came here because I appreciate your consistency, and I am trying to learn as much as I can, grasp and use what works for me. I like your respect. And like, you got Jason, you got Sydney, you got Rob, you got Candace. There are conversations up here where I'm not going to be the one that you're going to learn from. You're probably going to get more from one of them than you might get from me. And I'm okay with that. I don't have no problem sharing the microphone or the camera time with anyone. I'm not greedy, selfish, or self-serving. The whole idea is to help if possible. And I want the right people up here. I can't just have anybody sitting up here talking about whatever. Now, I've had a past number of guests where things didn't kind of work out for the long term, but overall, the experience was everything. Y'all should do y'all research and go back in time, man. We talk about everything up here, everything that you would expect someone in the house to talk about. Like if you're just with your homies or your sisters or your family in general, and you're in a house sitting in the dining room at the we that's what we do. There's no flashcards, none of the actual little shit. There's a little thing I want to learn how to use. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But nah, it's pretty simple, man. It's pretty simple. And like I said, nothing is forced up here, man. Overall, hopefully, I think that I sound like Porky the Pig. Shit.
Sensational.
I'm gonna play the video one more time. Because what I tried to do throughout this stream, I wanted to cover the A and B side. I wanted to give the perspective of the person who got abused and manipulated. So I empathize with them. But I also wanted to play devil's advocate and speak on the behalf of the ministers and the people who put their time and energy into this. And you commenters and all, you get bent out of shape when pastors and preachers show that they're just as human as we are, but you don't have the same attitude towards the ones that are in the world raping you every single day. The video specifically was the woman defending what he was doing. I defended and I went against it. That's the difference between me and her. That's the difference between this channel and the majority. They're not going to play or give you both sides of it. She was defending one part of it. She didn't give the entire spectrum in its full form. So I'm gonna play this one more time. If I missed anything, let me know. If you agree or disagree with anything that she said or I said, leave a comment after the stream. Don't, like, it really don't make a difference at the end of the day though. What I really want though, and I'll save it after I play this though, because there's something that I want to leave off with. So hold on 1 second.
Why you like?
No, he said ushers shut the door. The ushers wasn't listening. They was scared of the people. Ushers shut the door. Ushers shut the door. The problem is y'all think y'all could shame these pastors out of the gospel. Y'all think, but you know what the Bible says? The Bible says when there ain't no more people doing the work of God, the world is going to be a dark place. Don't complain there. Because y'all would rather see Rick Ross with a jet than Creflo Dollar. Y'all are hypocrites. Y'all are the church that persecuted Christ. If you, like, this is what I'm saying. Y'all are the people who put Christ up on that cross after he did miracle after miracle, because he sang y'all out of depression too many times. But y'all, $20 is too much to ask. He didn't ask everybody for $40. He didn't ask for $1,000. He asked 1,000 people for $20. Y'all out of pocket, because y'all would spend that $20 on anything.
That was the gist of it. My last closing arguments. One thing I didn't address, which I do agree with, something that I missed. If there's nobody fighting to let the world know that God exists, then what is going to happen to the rest of the world? What happens when nobody is preaching? What happens if everybody gave up? What happens if the ministers and the ushers and all of them just said, we're not doing it anymore, what happens then? That part that she spoke on, I absolutely agree on. Look at everything that gets uploaded. The things that I talk about, it's like, this shit can't be real, but nobody's paying attention to it. You take it as, damn, well, I just expect it to happen. No, there's nothing normal about it. There's no reason why we should be just accepting it for what that is. No. Is he wrong? I'd say he's wrong. You don't do that. But in the same breath, it comes off as if you're scamming your people. Really. I'm not going to tell nobody to continue to support him or don't support. That's not my place. You decide what you're going to do with that. Me personally, if I was in that position, I would never go back to him again. I would remove myself from that. I absolutely would. Just like I've removed myself from people in my life personally. And I don't subscribe to the same messages and programming that I used to when I was 2016. Do me a solid. Because we're going to be live tomorrow, Lord willing, 7:00. We air every day, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. But this is one of the shows where religion and church has always been a taboo conversation. Do me a solid if you could. It will only take you a second. And it's an option. You don't have to do it. I'm just pointing out there. I'm not asking for money or nothing. Repost, share this out, hit the thumbs up. That's all I ask. That's free. Because this is what I want to happen. I want an open forum about this. See, I don't want this conversation to just die here and then it's forgotten. Because I know a multitude of other people have spoken on this. A lot of people have spoken on this. I'm not here to spit Bible quotes at nobody. I'm only here to give my side of it. And for some reason, I believe that the way that I deliver my approach is so specific that it should be heard by a specific group of people, whether or not you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. I want this to carry on. I doubt it reaches him or his congregation or anything like that, but I'm a firm believer in when you're being genuine and transparent, it doesn't really make a difference as long as it reaches who it should reach. And I'm off off of that. We got more to discuss. We have more discussions, more conversations. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to starting the week off with my man's Rob, Sydney. Maybe we'll have Candace back on. If you have any topics, anything that you want to see us discuss up here, feel free to reach out. Everything is at the bottom. All of my ads, all of it at the bottom. You want to stay in touch, everything is down there at the bottom. I'm trying to get the virtual open mic ready for Friday. So if you're a poet, know a poet, hit me up. Is he right? Is he wrong? Have you lost faith? Are you still fighting? I hope you are. All churches aren't bad. You just have to find your home, your church home. But that being said, I'm about to get up out of here. Do me a solid. You have a blessed evening. I will holler at you guys tomorrow. I'm out.